Welcome back to some more Elite Speak, and I have your AEW Dark episode 61, November 10, 2020 review for you right here. This episode was relatively short compared to the recent ones. It featured like 7 to 8 matches, so this one didn't run too long. And it also wasn't as strong as the previous week's episodes either. But it did feature a few more newcomers, as we will get to them right about now. First matchup, we had TNT, which are the sons of Devon Dudley of the Dudley Boys. His two sons here made their AEW debut as a tag team. Terrence and Terrell went up against Chaos Project, Luther and Serpentico. Chaos Project immediately tees off on TNT. And that name just fits. TNT on TNT. That would be hilarious if that were to ever happen. Terrence belly to back suplexes Serpentico. Luther then pump kicks Terrence. Later, Luther slams Serpentico on Terrence 3 times before he gets out of the ring. Later, Terrell gets the hot tag and he runs wild on Chaos Project. And at this point, I was saying TNT looks pretty good. They're like a well-oiled machine. They even teased doing a 3D, but it didn't happen. TNT later falls to Chaos Project's double team finish maneuver. I'm not sure what it's called, but Luther will have one of the guys on his shoulder, and Serpentico will go to the top rope, and he will use his double knees to their throat as they go down to the mat. That ended the match, and Chaos Project picks up the win. The match gets a nice 2. Next matchup, we had newly signed The Acclaimed, which features Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, newcomers, versus Louis Valley and Justin Blacks. Justin Blacks is making his debut. The Acclaimed got a new look and theme after they got signed a week before. Max Caster rapped his way to the ring. This time his raps were a bit more crisp and they flowed better because they got a new theme which added to the rhymes as he just decimated these guys lyrically. Bowens and Blacks kicked off the match. Bowens got a drop kick and such off as Caster tagged in early in the match. But later on in the match, the Acclaimed win via their double team finish. I'm not sure what it's called, but it ended the match. It was a solid matchup. Gets a 2. Next match, we had Baron Black and Frankie Thomas versus Top Flight, making their return to AEW Dark. Top Flight, great tag team, very young. They're brothers. One is 19 and the other is 21, I believe. They also had a match scheduled on Dynamite versus the Young Bucks, but it got canceled. No one's sure why, but it could be stemming from Matt Jackson's injury. We'll know in due time, maybe. But I see big things in their future because they were slated to face the champs, the tag champs, the Young Bucks. So they obviously are seen highly, thought of highly, to get a match straight off the bat versus them on Dynamite. But here they go up against Frankie Thomas and Baron Black. Good match. Baron Black kicked away one of the top Flight's handshakes attempts. So Baron Black playing the heel. Top Flight gets to work on Black as they isolate him a bit before he gets the tag early on. Top Flight looks good throughout this match. They later win via their tag team finish. Not sure what it's called, but it ended the match. They got a win, so that tells me right there that AEW sees something in them. They got a win, and they could possibly be signed. We'll know in due time. Match gets a 2. Next up, we had TH2 and Helico and Jack Evans versus Sean Dean and Adam Priest. Dean is in. He needs to get a win sooner or later. He's put in the work. I don't know what they're waiting for. He would be a solid addition to the roster, but maybe they're just waiting to pull the trigger, waiting on something. Dean and Angelico start the match with holds. At this point, Frankie Kazarian is on commentary. Kazarian of the SCU has some issues with TH2. Angelico gets the better of Dean, but he attempts a comeback with a dropkick, which forces Angelico to tag in Evans. He cuts off Priest, which gets Dean in trouble as he is double teamed for a 2 count. And at this point, Sean Dean was working most of this match by himself. His partner didn't get a tag to the later part of this match. Priest gets the hot tag as he shows out, German suplexes Angelico, followed by a leg sweep for a 2 count. Dean later fights back with an underhook move and gets a broken up count. And when this underhook looks pretty good. Angelico later gets Dean to tap out via a Navarro death roll for the win. TH2 continues to roll as they are inevitably going to face off against SCU at some point. Match gets a 2. Next up, we had the Lucha Brothers versus Ashton Starr and David Ali. Pentagon and Ali have a verbal exchange to start the match, but Penta wasn't having any of it. Ali got a bit of offense to start in, but Penta gets the better of him. Penta later goes for a package power driver, but Ali fights out of it and gets a springboard elbow off on Penta. Later, Lucha Brothers spike Starr with the double team package power driver finish for the win. Assisted. This was an assisted package power driver. The Lucha Brothers roll on as they square off against one another on Dynamite tonight. Match gets a 2. Next up, we had Danny Jordan versus Leva Bates. This is Leva Bates' first singles match in a long time. Both have words over whose book is best pretty much at the start. The burn book versus the library book. Both then lock it up as Leva transitions to a cross face. Danny then rips apart Leva's books on the outside. As the ref is distracted, Danny pokes Leva's eyes and then gets a pin attempt not long after. But Leva later gets her first ever singles win via a roll-up to end the match. Leva Bates gets her first ever singles win in AEW. It's been like a year, and she's done it finally. The match was a bit rough in spots. This match gets a 1.5 due to the roughness. Next matchup was possibly the best one of the night. Allen Angels versus Fuego del Sol. Both Fuego and Five move quick to start the match. Later, Five hits a frog splash from the apron to Fuego on the outside. Angels then goes for a second rope moonsault but misses. Fuego then hits his own moonsault as he gets momentum. But Five dodges Fuego's tornado DDT attempt. And Angels later hits his wing snapper for the win. Good match, and it gets a 2. Next up, we had newcomers Jennacide and Dreamgirl Ellie versus Ivelisse and Diamante. Jennacide has been featured a lot on Thunder Rosa's promotion, Mission Pro Wrestling, and she looks pretty good. She has a nice look. And I wouldn't mind if AEW brings her back for another look. Same with Dreamgirl Ellie, whom I could see as a nice baby face. Has nice baby face potential. And she can sell her butt off. Jenna shows some power versus Ivelisse to start the match, as she later tags in Ellie. And I didn't take too much notes on this because I was just marveling at how these ladies worked. I want to see what Jennacide could do in AEW because I know she does in the independents on Rose's promotion. And I was curious of how that would translate here. And I think she did pretty well. And she impressed a lot of folks. So, and the commentary seemed to be playing up both Ellie and Jennacide. So we could indeed be seeing see them back on Dark at some point. I hope. Ellie then gets rocked by Diamante with a suplex and gets a 2 count. But eventually, Ivelisse and Diamante win the match. Decent, solid match, and it gets 2. Would like to see more of Jennacide and the Dreamgirl Ellie. Definitely. And then we had our main event, which was Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss versus the Jurassic Express. Kiss and Jungle Boy go at it to start. Both trade athleticism back and forth with ranas and flips. Luchasaurus and Janela then tag in. Both Kiss and Janela then try to knock Luchasaurus off his feet repeatedly, one after another. But later the Jurassic Express win via an assisted powerbomb finish, which looks nice. Solid matchup, and it gets a 2. And there you have it. Your AEW Dark review for November 10th, 2020, episode 61 in the books. Thanks for watching or listening, and I will catch you with the Dynamite review Thursday. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like the content. I post these weekly. Take care.